Hey guys, my name is Dante, and today I am going to do the Thinkorswim tutorial and layout video for the Thinkorswim options platform. Now, those of you who follow me and know me, I did the tutorial and a video for interactive brokers, and I love IB. I have a Thinkorswim account, and at first I wasn't that crazy about it. Their commissions are a little bit higher. It is a state-of-the-art platform. At first, it seemed really gimmicky to me, but now I've actually really fallen in love with it. I like that in the US you can bank out of it. You can, write checks or whatever. So instead of having a normal bank, I liked TOS because if there's a really great trade that happened while I was out or whatever, or I was away from IB, I could always buy it from Thinkorswim, and I might pay a little bit of a higher commission, but at least have the option to do so and not the obligation. You also, at least for me, from what I understand, I get free checks or have gotten, free checks, debit card transactions, and all of that. So it's been great. But again, when I first started playing with it, it seemed a little gimmicky to me, so I never really used it all that much. But I was just starting to play with it for options, and I called them and I was like, why do people love TOS for options so much? Like it seems kind of gimmicky to me. Usually down the platform, this is what it looks like. You click on activity and positions, and if you want to trade options, you go to all products, and then you say, like, for example, PYPL. And so there's PayPal, and if you want to look at the charts, which I trade a lot of price action, you kind of have to go here, and then you have to click, on the three lines. And if I want to look at the gadget, then I change to charts. And I've been working on saying that word. I know you guys hate me for saying charts in the past, and Newtooth will do that to you. So I'm working on it. But so here you click the three dots or the three lines. If you haven't seen my video on how to set up TOS just for regular trading, not option specific, I have that video up, and you should probably watch that before this one, but I will explain some of the basics. But so anyway, this is the way you look at the different charts. It's kind of annoying. So I actually, once I talked to them over the phone, and I was like, well, why do people love TOS for options so much? And I actually got to play with it and set it up the way I wanted to. I actually fell in love with it. So without further ado, let's go to charts. And the first thing I'm going to do is to get the screen to look like this is click on this button right here and have 6 little square windows open. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, or now that that's done, I'm going to make sure to link them all together. So yellow, and I have PayPal equity up, yellow, yellow, and that's just so they sync. I like looking at different time frames, especially when trading options, because I like to draw my zones and kind of know where where I want to go from. So for example, here I'm looking at the weekly, and then I'm going to go to the daily, and then I'm going to go to 4-hour, and now I see a big picture kind of. So now I can see, okay, PayPal based on the time frame. Do I want to buy the call? Do I want to sell the put? Whatever. Where is my demand area? So if I, so go back to the origin of the move, and if I'm happy to buy PayPal right here at $65. So great. So here's a cool thing. So now all the charts are synced to that. And if I want to zoom out, I just lower arrow. And so now I see, kind of where I'm at in the intermediate time frame or whatever. So now I'm going to sync these as well. And this is where I start to really fall in love with options on a Thinkorswim, because I think this is a little bit of a hack. I don't think TOS intended it to be like this, but it works out really well. So so now these are all synced to PayPal. Now I'm going to unlink one of them, and you're going to see why now. I linked them all first so that I can kind of be on the same page and not get, overwhelmed with data. So now I'm going to open up the, instead of going on monitor and clicking it on there, I'm going to do it on here. And so, usually you would have all first. So I'm going to go down to options, and then I'm going to go to, PayPal, PYPL. Or you know what, we can, actually, yeah, PayPal's fine. So, so there's PayPal option. So I'm sorry. So PayPal, PYPL. Perfect. Awesome. So you have to do it here, and then to do it for the options for whatever contracts, you do it here. So I went to options and now I clicked PYPL here. And so here I see kind of all of the contracts. Now, when I'm going to buy a call, theoretically, if I want to go long, I would usually want to buy it out as far out as I can, because if you know options, which I hope you do if you're trading them, you know that calls lose money on time decay. So for time decay to not work against me so much, but I'm still bullish, I'm going to want to go a couple of months out of today's date, so I don't lose that much money in time or theta. And then there's the volatility. So let's say I want to buy the call, and so I'm going to try to go out as far out as reasonably possible. So here now, the reason I unlinked them now is because and this is actually really cool, it will now become the options contract, which is right here. So the underline is PYPL. If you want to do the options, it's this symbol right here. But you don't want to copy and paste. Like if you do it on monitor, you would have to copy and paste this and then put it here. This way now, I just do it from here, and let's say I'm looking to buy the, strikes all. Let's say I'm looking to buy the 70 or the 65 call. Now, again, this is for example purposes only. Trading and investing is somewhere we can lose all or more of your money. You should always know what you're doing. With great reward comes great risk, and it's expensive to be cheap when it comes to financial literacy, in my opinion. So take anything I say as educational purposes only, and I hope you're already have some form of options education before I start trading them. But with that being said, so here is the 60 call. So click on that. And now, so this is really cool. So now this has turned into the options contract. So now you're looking. So here you're looking at the underline, which is PYPL, and what it's trading at right now. And now here you're looking at this particular options contract and where it's been trading at, as if it were a stock. So you can look at the underline as if it were a stock, which I think is pretty awesome. And now I'm going to link it again into, let's say, red. So this is the previous example that I did with people. So again, we're going to go 60. And that's cool too, is that whenever you click on this, even if you accidentally exit out of it or whatever, it remembers what you were doing or where you were at. So no problem, you can just click on here if you exit out for whatever reason, and it goes back to where you were at. So now that this is red, I'm going to make all of these red. And now all of these represent that options contract. Now this is where I think options starts to get really cool, because a lot of people have trouble with options, not just for trading them or knowing where to buy a call or the put or how they work, but then also executing the order, where to close out. If you sell a put, you collect the credit right now, but then it'll usually typically mark you as a losing trade, and you may not know why. So the reason it does that, for example, when we sell a put, is because you take the credit and then it assumes that you want to buy it back right away, rather than wait for it to expire worthless or collect the arbitrage and buy the underlying, etc. So here, now that they're all synced, you can go to Active Trader. And Active Trader is usually used for, so it's kind of a hack, it's usually used for trading Forex or futures, or even stock, and doing it very, very fast. But here you can actually do it to buy and sell the option. And even though that's not its main purpose, you can kind of see where the option contract's trading at right now, which is 1420 or so. And let's say that you want to sell the put or whatever, or well, this is the call, or the underline, excuse me, based on what you want to do. I clicked on the call, but this is the underline, PayPal. And so you can kind of do sell or buy. And let's say you want to sell for credit here, and this is order confirmation. So send. You can sell it now, and so PayPal or whatever limit. And then you can also then go here, and if you want to close it out worthless, you can scroll down or whatever and see where you're happy selling it. Either buying it back. So if you sold the put, for example, again, this is this may not be the put, this is just for an example, but you can buy it back, you know, here, wherever you're happy, and then you don't have to worry about it. So really, I want to buy it back. If I sold a put, I would personally want to either expire worthless or buy it back like at 10 cents, and that way I collect all and keep all the premium. But let's say we just go here and just click all the way down, or whatever. You can do it on your own time, but you just buy limit, and then it'll say buy to close, and then you send it, and now it just lives there. And if you wanted to buy a call, for example, so no, it won't let me hedge, but if you wanted to buy the call, for example, you can just flatten, yes, whatever. So I close out that position. And it's trading right now at 14, but let's say you're like, oh, well, there's a lot of volatility today, and I know the price will come down. So instead of buying it at the current price, which may be very inflated, if you want to buy the call, I wouldn't buy a call. If I would rather, do something else, or sell a put, or sell something if it's inflated. But let's say you don't have that kind of permission, or it's too advanced for you, but you want to buy the call, you're bullish PayPal, you just don't want to buy it today, or you don't want to buy it at $14 or whatever. You can just say buy at 8.20 or 8.60, send, and now your buy order for the option just lives there, and either price will come to you or it won't. You have to remember to close your buy limit as you get closer to expiration, if that's what you want to do. So that's the cool thing about this, and Ladder Trader or whatever, or Active Trader being able to have it right there. And let's say that you want to look at news or whatever here, it's still all tied to the same underline. Now, you probably wouldn't want to look at news for the option because that'd be kind of silly, but let's say you want to look at level 2, and then you want to close out the chart. So it's pretty cool. That way you can kind of hack these buttons this way to trade options on TOS. And even though this is, these buttons are usually used for trading futures or forex or whatever, you can definitely use it for options, and it's almost, in my opinion, more seamless than how TOS wants you to trade options on here. So that's when I started to fall in love with TOS. Now, this video is going to be all about the TOS options hacks, because in my opinion, that's the way where it's most intuitive. So now I'm going to take away the news because, well, you don't want to look at news I don't want to look at news about options. You can. So let's say then that you want to, so let's go back to this, you're thinking about buying a call here. So let's left click, and then let's do analyze trade. So analyze trade is the second part where I realized when I was like, okay, I'm obsessed with options on Thinkorswim, because you click here, so then it'll tell you what will happen. So analyze trade, as you guys know, or you should know if you've traded options before, this is kind of the theoretical scenario of what would happen if, to the option price if X, so if the underlying was at X price. So here, this is where TOS, I think, excels. So this is 12/11/17, which is today. So what would the option do today if this was, what is the price of the option today if it was, if the option was bought and sold today or whatever? So here's the break even. So PayPal would have to be at 60. I'm sorry. So here's a break even. Excuse me. So these little lines represent the break even for that date. So the break even for PayPal would be $65 for a break even. That's where you would. So if it was $65 today, which is 12/11/17, and you bought the call at 860, which is my buy limit. So you have to remember that I didn't click buy market, so that's why it's a little bit lower as far as the break even goes. And then here you could see the price curve of your option on 4/21/18, which is where I actually bought the options contracts for, was for this date. So then here the break even would be $68. Now, single PayPal 60 call, bought the call. Oh, because you're losing off of time, excuse me. That's because you bought the call, so you're losing money off of time decay. So this is so you know that's what so that's what this is for. To kind of tell you what would happen under to your underlying the price. So this is the price of PayPal. So if PayPal then was at 783 by 421, you would have made then $5,760. If you had bought 10. If you did it if it was today, that PayPal went to $72. It would be 57.84. So you can see the dates of these the price curves right here. So this is where it starts to get cool. So let's say that you want to do something else instead, right? So you can then either add simulated trade, which would let you add a trade or an options under a theoretical scenario, or you can go here. Go here and add it. So let's add the simulated trade, right? So we're in April 20th right now. So let's say we want to look at, and then here there's a strike price. So this is really annoying. I always see all the strike prices. So so you see all, and then you can say, well, you know what? PayPal is a little volatile right now. It's very inflated. It's a tech stock. So what would happen if I maybe wanted to sell the put instead? So let's see. So if I sell the put, and then you can see puts here, calls here, and PayPal's currently trading at 72.83. So then I look here, and then I'm looking at all the different contracts, and I see, oh, well, it's 72.86 right now. If I sell the put at 80, which means I have the obligation to buy PayPal at 80, the put cost, or the put will give me a credit of 935. So then that would mean I could maybe be effectively buying Apple at, 80 minus credit, so minus 930. So then maybe I could be buying Apple effectively at $70 and, 70 cents, which is lower than current price. So let me see what would happen if I want to sell the in the money call here, in the money put, excuse me. So then sell the put here at, 930, and then uh, maybe now that I'm selling the put, maybe I just want to buy the put to cover. So let's see what that would look like. So let's see. So, and then this is where you can get pretty creative with options. Buy put, and then you can kind of fiddle with that. So then the 70 put is 360. So then if I want to buy it, then that would effectively put Apple at 70 plus 360 or so. It would be like buying it at 73.60. That's $1 or so, higher than current price, but then I'm receiving credits. So let's see what that will look like. So buy. So here we have buy put at 70, and then buy put at 70, sell it at, and then sell the put. And then you can kind of see, well, what would happen if I did that? And then let's uncheck this one, and then let's go back to, risk profile. So then you can see here what would happen. So based on the different time frames. So then if Apple or if PayPal was at expiration at which is 4/21/18 at 79.35, then you would have lost this amount. If so, then you can kind of see. Okay, so you can say, oh, okay, you know what, this wouldn't make sense because if it was today, if it expired today, or if this were to, based on today's pricing, I would lose $3,095. If it was 4/21/18, which is when expiration is, then I would be making or losing, or if PayPal expired at, as you can see here, the price at 79.68 on the green line, which is 421.18, you can see here, oh, okay, I would have made $335. But as you can see here, if it was today, you would actually lose $3,149. Now, this is based on 10 contracts, which is kind of annoying to me because sometimes I just kind of want to do the simple math and maybe look at one. So then if you want to change the contract size, you just go right here and then you can just go, add. So then let's just take them all down to one. And that we can kind of play with the math and see, well, where did I go right or wrong? Again, my point for showing you this is not to show you what this particular trade would look like necessarily, but just to show you how creative you can get with the trades and then really see what's going to happen. Now, you can drag here forwards and backwards in time and see the curve. So then you see the price is here. So, my break even for today's day, or for the, for 4/21/18, excuse me, would be 79.36, which would be, and so you can see here 0, and then here the dates. And then you can go, like I said, forward and backward in time, or just by dragging the chart. Now, let's try something else. For example, and this is just all the different ways you can kind of play with this. So now let's exit all of these trades out. And try something else. So let's go back to charts here. And you can see that this is what we had just customized. And let's try, for example, left click or right click and then buy custom with OCO bracket. And then you can see here buy, sell signal, one triggers other. So this is a buy custom, and then you can make kind of whatever you want. So instead of having to go through the monitor as you would usually do it, and then you would have to go, today's trade. So let's just say, to trade. So if you did the defaults, and let's say you go here, and then you have to say, oh, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do an iron condor or do whatever? And then you have to do a single, then you do a vertical or whatever, a back ratio. If you do it like this, then it wants to do it all for you. And because I do a lot of different trades that are, I have a ton of experience with price action and with options and options on futures or whatever, I don't really want thinkorswim to try to give me the numbers for me. I like to do the singles. So the cool thing is, if you go back here to charts where we were previously at, you can kind of do the singles and you can do kind of whatever you want, because you can do buy, call, or sell, call, or put, or whatever, and then do it customized. Now, there's even a better way of doing this, because this one you might have to do a lot of mental math or figure out a lot of the prices yourself and call and click on those or whatever. So okay, so two things here. So the first thing that kind of always, like I said, it kind of annoys me, is that the default is 10. So if you want to change that, you go up here to setup, and then you application settings, which is not intuitive. That I would change that and put it maybe here, but not the point. And then you go to positions, and then you go to, so here you go to the general notifications or defaults, and then they have all of this. So under order defaults up here, you can see stocks, options, futures, futures on options, or forex. So under options, then you just do the default quantity as 1, and then maximum quantity orders unlimited, order quantity increment 1. So then this will be the default, and then you want to say it's stop, bid, ask, or mark. And just go with mark, and then you apply settings. So now all of the defaults will be the number we just set. We just set to 1. And so now we're going to exit these. So we're going to click delete here. And then you go to, so then let's say we want to go back to the classic way of trading, the way they do it. So you go to trade, options, whatever. And then here, and there's another kind of a hack. Um, you can go condor or whatever. So let's just do iron condor, for example. And let me move this up. And let's just click on whatever. Just click on this. And as you can see here, you have kind of all this information going on. So here you have Iron Condor listed. So Iron Condor, now instead, here's this kind of a cool hack. You can go custom. So now you have 4 orders as if it were an Iron Condor, and then you can kind of do whatever you want. You can call put, call, put all puts. So then buy, put, which is probably not something you want to do, but then you can kind of switch them around and then left click or right click and then go to analyze trade. And this is probably a silly one, I just did it for examples, but you can kind of see what would happen. So then, you can go add, buy at 5, generate call at 71, and then you can change the numbers. You can do whatever you want now that you changed it from Iron Condor, which is 4 legs, you change it to custom like I just did back here. And then you can, right click and then go to analyze trade and kind of see what would happen. So I think that is super cool. And when I saw that you can kind of do all of this, that's when I was like, you know what? If you hack the way, TOS is designed to trade options, it's actually really, really cool. As it's defaulted, I don't love it so much. So a few final notes. Here's commissions exclude. I like to just put include because, well, commissions are a part of your profit and loss. And, I don't, depending on what kind of account you have with Thinkorswim, some trades might just be too expensive to make sense. So I think it's important to see with commissions what that would look like. And, and so I think that's important. We unchecked all of it, so that's why they all disappeared. But if you check mark specifics and then you kind of fiddle with them, you add, you take away, it'll kind of tell you what would happen under different circumstances, which is awesome, especially if you're a little newer. Not that I would recommend trading options like this if you're a little newer anyway, but you can see some benefits here. So I think that's pretty cool. And what other notes? Oh, for saving your settings or for saving the chart, I think I forgot to do this on the last video. Just save workspace as, so save as options, layout, save, and then when you close the window, next time you open it, it'll be right there. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry for making this a little bit of a longer video than I wanted to, but I think it covers a lot in this video. So anyway, any comments, concerns, feedback, please let me know. It's always good to know what you guys have questions about, especially because I've been trading for so long. Some things that might be intuitive to me may not be so intuitive to you. So I want to know what to do videos on and what not, based on what you guys' needs are. So again, guys, comment, like, subscribe would be much appreciated. If you want to watch more videos, a lot of videos I do for subscribers only, so make sure to do that. And then I'll do some videos on advantages and disadvantages of doing like selling in the money puts and all of that soon. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and have a fantastic trading rest of your day.